This will be a day long remembered. Now I am the master.
Welcome to another episode of Legends and Theories. Obi-Wan Kenobi flies to Kamino and lands on the planet looking for the bounty hunter who attempted to assassinate Senator Amidala. Obi-Wan begins his investigation and meets the Kaminoan cloners. After being a little confused by why the Kaminoans would expect him, Obi-Wan is brought into the facility where he learns that about a decade ago, Jedi Master Sifo Dyas commissioned the clone army, and all the clones are based off of Jango Fett, a powerful and infamous Mandalorian bounty hunter. And Fett, who is at the facility now, is confronted by Obi-Wan. At first, playing it safe and not doing anything to upset them. Obi-Wan talks to Jango, and after talking to the Jedi Council, Obi-Wan goes and tries to arrest Jango. He does fail in the battle, but is able to put a tracker on his ship and follows him to the planet of Geonosis. At the same time, Anakin decides to leave Naboo and takes Padme to Tatooine. And after landing on the planet, Anakin goes to find his mother and learns that Watto sold her to Lars' family, and Anakin goes to the Lars family to see his mother, but learns she's kidnapped by the Tusken Raiders. Anakin tracks her down, but learns that, Tusken Raiders have kidnapped her and she's near death. His mother dies in his arms, and enraged Anakin gives into his emotions and slaughters the entire village. This is really where Darth Vader starts to truly begin. Although it is small, Vader will soon overtake Anakin at the end of the war, and he will become a ruthless Sith Lord. But those events are 3 years down the line in the Clone Wars, so let's continue on. And Anakin is going back to mourn his mother, and his relationship is getting closer with Padme, but at this time Obi-Wan has been captured by the Geonosians and had a message sent to Anakin to relay to the Jedi Council. And this leads the Jedi to want to have a rescue mission to save Obi-Wan, who has discovered the Separatists have commissioned a droid army and are preparing to go against the Republic. So, in the Senate, Chancellor Palpatine is able to trick Jar Jar Binks into giving him emergency powers and grants the clone army creation. So Yoda goes to pick up the clones and inspect them. But at the same time, Mace Windu is a Jedi strike force to Geonosis to save Obi-Wan Kenobi. But at the exact same time Anakin and Padme went to Geonosis, they were captured by the Geonosians after trying to infiltrate their droid factory, and they are arrested and set to be executed with Obi-Wan in the Petronarchy arena, I believe. And in the arena, they get the Geonosians release giant beasts of Reek, Nexu, and Acolyte, I believe the names are. And the Jedi and Padme are able to escape. Anakin is able to tame the Reek and uses it to kill the Nexu, but then they are starting to get surrounded. Before anything can happen, Mace Windu and the Jedi come in to rescue them, and a massive battle begins in the arena. The Jedi eventually circled in, with most dying, but they're all in a circle. Dooku now pleads for them to surrender. They refuse, and before they can be executed, Yoda arrives with the clone army, and they rescue the rest of the Jedi. And from this, the Battle of Geonosis truly begins. The Jedi lead the clones into a successful victory against the Confederacy of Independent Systems. And at the same time, Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Padme follow Dooku. Padme does fall off of the gunship, but in the overall scheme of things right now, it's not too important. So it's the fact that it motivates Anakin, and when they catch up to Dooku, trying to get things done quickly, Anakin rushes the Sith Lord and is easily knocked out temporarily. Obi-Wan fights and loses to Dooku, and right before Dooku kills Obi-Wan, Anakin's able to jump in and save him, but loses an arm. Before Dooku could escape, or do really anything to the Jedi, Yoda arrives and fights his former apprentice. They fight with the Force, but proves that they are near equals. So they go into a lightsaber battle, and the fight is going pretty evenly, although Yoda would probably eventually win. Knowing this, Dooku collapses part of a pillar down to try to crush Obi-Wan and Anakin. Yoda stops fighting and goes to save the two, and Dooku uses it as an opportunity to escape and meet up with his master in the industrial district on Coruscant. And at the exact same time, the Clone Wars has truly began. And Yoda does not see this as a victory. He doesn't see it as a good thing. Now, the Republic is at war, the first time in 1,000 years, and things definitely aren't too good right now. Finally, both Anakin Skywalker and Padme Amidala are married on Naboo, something that'll have a very major impact on the galaxy's future. The war has been begun, and Geonosis has been taken for now, but the galaxy now faces a very brutal 3-year-long war that will end in great tragedy. Anakin Skywalker is leading an attack to bring relief to the people of Christophsis. Anakin is doing pretty poorly in the battle and is called back by Obi-Wan. They have a new stealth ship that Obi-Wan believes could be used to sneak past the defenses that the Separatists have. At the same time, Admiral Yularen realizes that the commander of the Separatists is Admiral Trench, an old rival of his, and sees him as a threat. Yularen volunteers to go with Anakin on a relief mission, and at the same time, Trench goes and bombs Christophsis, where Senator Organa is set up. Anakin decides to reveal that he has a stealth ship, and uses it to draw Trench's attention to him instead of the people, and eventually comes up with a plan to have Trench fire missiles that will lock onto the signature of his ship, and uses it. Well, of course, it would be on the when the ship is invisible, and then uses that to take out Trench's ship, destroying the blockade. And this plan does work, destroying Trench's command ship, which Trench somehow winds up to survive. But we don't learn that for, well, a while. And Anakin is able to bring relief supplies to the people of Christophsis. After a little bit, the Republic has been making an offensive against the Separatists, and this leads to some very interesting conflict where they seem to have a mole in the Republic who has been reporting to the Separatists, and Anakin and Obi-Wan ask Rex and Cody to investigate after a failed mission for a surprise attack on the Separatists. As Anakin and Obi-Wan go check out the Separatist headquarters, and when they arrive, they see that Asajj Ventress is waiting for them, and they begin to fight her, as she tells them that her mole will let her know that they were coming. And back at the base, Rex and Cody are able to track down who has been sending out signals from at least the barracks, and go and interrogate Slick and his men. After making a mistake, Slick reveals that, well, he was a traitor by knowing that the Jedi were gone, and he goes and destroys most of the Republic's arsenal, only leaving the heavy cannons behind. He is captured and arrested by Rex and Cody, and says how, well, the clones are all just slaves, and he was doing this for them, but also because he was paid off by Ventress, because he wanted to have choice. And Ventress has escaped to go and execute the next part of her master's plan. As Ventress goes to kidnap Jabba the Hutt's son, Rhoda, the Separatists go and push their advantage against the Republic, now that they only have heavy cannons. But the Republic is able to hold them off pretty well still, and Separatists go back and prepare a ray shield. At the same time, Jabba goes to the Republic for help, and since most of their equipment is destroyed, there isn't really any long-range communication available. So Ahsoka Tano is sent under the assumption, well, at least by Obi-Wan, he probably already knew what's going on, but she knows that she is to be a Padawan to Anakin Skywalker, and Obi-Wan tells Anakin that it's likely his new Padawan, and then Obi-Wan's new Padawan that will be coming in with this, and Anakin thinks it's kind of ridiculous, and once Ahsoka comes off, it says that she is Anakin's. Anakin is very confused and doesn't exactly want this burden placed on him, but there is no real time for that right now. They use the shuttle to communicate to Yoda, saying that they're very preoccupied here, and Yoda takes a fleet to go help them. But now the ray shield of the Separatists have been set up, and is beginning to grow, and now a plan needs to be made. Anakin and Ahsoka go to disable the shield, while Obi-Wan and Rex go to hold off the line, and this plan does work. Although they execute in an odd way, Anakin and Ahsoka hide under a box and sneak towards the base after running into a droideka. We see how Anakin and Ahsoka have a pretty rocky relationship at the start, and realizing that they need more time, Obi-Wan goes and pulls off a war crime by using a false surrender to stall for time, and sits down with the Separatist commander and basically, stalls for time by saying trying to get out terms of surrender and everything. While this is happening, Ahsoka runs through and sets off a bunch of droids that are buried under the ground. These attack her and Anakin, and they are able to take them down, although Ahsoka pulls off a kind of risky maneuver to save Anakin, and then they're able to destroy the shield generator, which puts the Separatist army in the perfect position to be almost completely destroyed, and Obi-Wan's able to capture the commander of the Separatists and win the battle with the help of Yoda arriving with reinforcements. And once this is finished, Yoda goes to them, and Anakin does accept Ahsoka as his Padawan, knowing that she was likely not be able to make it as Obi-Wan's, but also he's starting to, find a connection with her, seeing how she's very similar to him. And Anakin goes and begins to train Ahsoka, but first has to take on this new mission of the Council, which Ahsoka will go with him on. They have been assigned to go and rescue Jabba the Hutt's son. As Obi-Wan goes to negotiate with Jabba, then meet up with them, they are sent to the planet of Teth, and after landing on the planet, they pull off a near flawless break into the castle and are able to get to Jabba's son, as Obi-Wan is able to negotiate a deal with Jabba. If they return Rhoda, they will be able to use the Hutt's space lanes. But back on Teth, the reason why it was so easy for them to get in is because it was a trap. Dooku wants Ventress to get evidence of the Jedi kidnapping Rhoda, and wants to frame the Jedi as the ones who did the kidnapping, so the Separatists can get a trade route. But they do need the Republic to gain Rhoda so it could look like it, and the Republic and Anakin and Ahsoka fall right in to this trap, and now, while the real battle begins, Anakin and Ahsoka now need to escape as the Separatist army is coming in. They fight Ventress and are able to escape to a ship that is docked across the large gap, which they take a giant lizard creature to get to. And Obi-Wan, bringing an army, on reinforcements, goes and rescues the other clones, and a battle breaks out. Obi-Wan battles Ventress, but she's able to escape, and Anakin fights Magna Guard starfighters above Tatooine as the ship is in the twilight. Is shot down and crashes. Anakin and Ahsoka now go to walk to Jabba's palace, and after marching for a while, they get to a part where they split up, knowing that, well, Dooku is coming for them. Anakin stays behind to fight Dooku as Ahsoka goes to meet with Jabba. And Anakin does fight Dooku. They fight in mainly a stalemate until Anakin is taunted by Dooku saying that his apprentice Ahsoka is in danger. Anakin steals Dooku's speeder bike and speeds off to Jabba's palace. And at the same time, Padme goes to Zero the Hutt, Jabba's uncle, and she's going to try to renegotiate the plan after Dooku has sabotaged it, but learns that Dooku is working with Zero. She is imprisoned but is able to get contact out to C-3PO, who brings in some of the Coruscant Guard to go and arrest Zero, and after Anakin and Ahsoka bring back Rhoda, Jabba thinks that they are traitors and is about to have them executed until Padme is able to contact Jabba and be able to fully negotiate a truce, and the Republic is able to use the lanes. Zero the Hutt is sent to prison, and the Republic now has full access to Hutt space and a alliance with the Hutts. Although it's, not going to do anything to stop them. This is a win, and Anakin is now truly ready to train Ahsoka. The Republic is currently in need of more clone troopers, so on Kamino, far more clones are being produced and preparing to face their final tests. But one group is having a lot harder time than others. Domino Squad, made up of Heavy, Fives, Echo, Cut Up, and Droid Bait, is doing very poorly in their exams. They have not been able to complete the Citadel challenge, and if they do not, it is very likely that they will be placed on maintenance duty with defective clones like 99. And the clones definitely don't want to do this and face many problems. Echo is very by the books and will repeat orders, while Heavy is far more impulsive and brash. The clones all fight between each other. Cut Up doesn't really take things seriously, and the Citadel test is nearly completed by them, but Cut Up is shot, and this leads to them failing the test and having one last chance to take it, which is given to them by Shaak Ti. But that same night, Heavy nearly decides to abandon his fellow clones, but 99 is able to convince him to stay, and eventually he does go to the Domino Squad's final test, where they try to scale the Citadel, but their commander and trainer Brick, who thinks that, well, they failed, and they should just be kept as maintenance duty clones, goes and sets up them for failure by taking away their ascension cables, but able to find a creative way around. They shoot out the turrets in the Citadel, and climb to the top, claiming victory, and are able to graduate into the Grand Army of the Republic and are sent off to their first mission on the Rishi moon. There are great problems on the planet of Ryloth. Republic forces are being overrun and the supply lines have been cut. Jedi Master is attempting to protect the local Twi'leks, but cannot hold out for long. The Republic is sending in relief supplies, but must use the neutral world of Toydaria as a staging ground, but first must get permission from the king before they can. And the Republic sends Senator Bail Organa and Representative Jar Jar Binks to Toydaria to meet with the king, but knowing about this from, I believe, spies, or possibly even Palpatine telling Dooku, the Trade Federation sent in their own men to try and disrupt the trade disputes, and the Trade Federation are saying that since Toydaria is neutral, it could be seen as allying with the Republic if they do help the Republic, since Ryloth is a planet under occupation from the Separatists, and the Republic is trying to free it. And the King of Toydaria officially cannot go and help the people of Ryloth at the time, since it is still good for his people to be neutral, although it does start to put doubt in his mind, but does tell Bail and Jar Jar that they can take the ships that they do have and leave and go to help the people. So, while Jar Jar goes and distracts the guests of the Trade Federation, the ships are able to launch and go to help the people of Ryloth, or the Jedi Master sacrifices himself so James Syndulla and the people of Ryloth can escape to fight another day in a very heroic sacrifice. And this leads the King of Toydaria to want to meet with the Jedi Council to possibly discuss joining the Republic in the Clone Wars. This leads to Master Yoda being sent out, but the Separatists, seeing this as an opportunity to gain a new ally, send Ventress and an army of droids to prevent this from happening. Yoda goes down in an escape pod with 3 clone troopers named Thrai, Jack, and Rise, and the 3 clones accompany Yoda, who contacts the king, who says that if the Separatists truly are better, they would be able to defeat Yoda in a fair fight, and if Yoda can make it to them by defeating the droid armies in a fair fight, he will join the Republic, but if they do defeat Yoda, he will join the Separatists. And Yoda accepts this, and him and the 3 clones go on in a journey to go and take on the Separatists. They start by going the opposite direction of the meeting to, will lead off suspicion of where they're going, since they know they will be going that way, and hide in particular parts of the planet where there are plants and other objects blocking off the droids from taking their tanks in. So they do send in droids, but Yoda and the clones are able to fight them off. And after, Yoda leads another attack and is able to push them back. After a little bit, they do get a chance to rest, where the clones see themselves only as numbers and as just faceless soldiers, but Yoda explains that they are not, and they all have importance in the Force, and are all unique, and gives them each good insight into themselves, and then goes to continue. Yoda goes and takes down the Separatist armies, almost by himself, taking down 3 armored assault tanks with no problem, and continues to be doing really well until Ventress sends in droidekas, who Yoda can't defeat because of the shield, but the clones are able to shoot down rocks onto the droids, destroying them. This leads to them meeting with the king, who Ventress tries to kill, since he refuses to join the Separatists, since they do not do things fairly and break their word. Yoda is able to save his life. Ventress does escape, but Toydaria and the Republic are now allies, with the king seeing that there is no need for negotiations, since Yoda has proven himself, and now they will be building a Republic base on Toydaria. The Republic has been suffering many losses to the Separatists against an unknown superweapon. The Jedi are desperate to figure it out, and Plo Koon has been sent to investigate. Plo Koon does discover a Separatist ship and is able to contact the Jedi, but very quickly he learns what the weapon is. It is a massive ion cannon attached to a Separatist ship, and the ion cannon is used to take out any enemy ship's power, and once it's down, they are able to easily destroy the ships. This happens to Plo Koon, and he's able to evacuate a good amount of his crew into escape pods. As he is in one, there are many other who do manage to escape, but knowing they did this, Dooku and Grievous send out squads of droids to go and destroy the escape pods, and at the same time, Ahsoka does want to help Plo Koon, but the Council will not hear of it. So Anakin plays along, and once he repositions his fleet like he is told to, he goes with Ahsoka on a solo mission to go search the debris. At this time, Plo Koon and his men are stuck in the escape pod as the clones start to lose faith. Plo tells them that they are not just numbers, and they are all unique people, very similar to Yoda in Ambush, and this helps reassure the clones, but they soon realize that the squad of droids is out there and killing the crews of the escape pods, so there are no survivors. Anakin and Ahsoka, still looking for Plo Koon, are called back by the Chancellor, who's saying that the Council is very angry at Anakin for disobeying their orders once they learned what Anakin did, and they are about to turn around, but are able to learn that Plo Koon is alive. A little bit before, Plo Koon and his men did have to fight off the battle droids, but Wolf, inside of the escape pod, was able to contact Ahsoka, and she came in with Anakin and was able to rescue the Jedi and clones after nearly being caught in the ion beam by the Malevolence. Anakin, Ahsoka, Plo, and the clones managed to escape. Dooku is very mad with Grievous, since now the Republic will know of their superweapon and find ways to counter this. A little later, the Republic is now planning to take out the Malevolence. Anakin is going to lead a team through a nebula to try and catch the Malevolence off guard and try to destroy the ship before Obi-Wan arrives, after realizing that Grievous is going to attack a medical station near Naboo. And yeah, they fly through the nebula with some brand new Y-Wing bombers, and Plo Koon decides to join them. The nebula turns out to be a breeding ground for a giant alien species, which surprisingly is not too bad. Only one of the Y-Wings is slightly damaged, and the Republic forces are able to beat Grievous to the medical station and begin their attack. The original plan was to take out the bridge, but realizing that there was no way for anyone besides Anakin to actually make it to the bridge, they turned their focus and disabled the ion cannon, which heavily damaged the ship, just in time for Obi-Wan to show up with a fleet of Venator Star Destroyers. Now, the Malevolence is on the run, but knowing they will need the superweapon, Padme Amidala is tricked into going to the location the Malevolence is, saying that there was going to be a possible peace talk with the leaders of the Separatists or the Trade Federation, and seeing this as useful, she goes. And the reason she is sent is because Palpatine knows that Anakin cares for Padme and will definitely let them escape for this, if not as a good way to push Anakin farther towards the dark side. So, either way, this would be a win-win. And once Padme is captured, Anakin orders the Republic cruisers to stop firing, and him and Obi-Wan go on board to try and rescue Padme and 3PO. Padme is able to evade capture, turning her ship into a bomb and nearly killing Grievous, but she still has to be careful. She eventually does meet up with Anakin as they split into, well, really like kind of three teams. R2 and 3PO are off on their own. R2 is trying to find 3PO, while Anakin and Padme go to the bridge to sabotage the navigation, and Obi-Wan Kenobi goes to try and sabotage the hyperdrive. Grievous does lay a trap for Obi-Wan in the hyperdrive, and Obi-Wan fights them and is able to escape, although he could not sabotage the hyperdrive again. But Anakin is able to program the Malevolence's navicomputer to fly into the moon to destroy it. So, once he does that, they're able to escape, and being pursued by Grievous and his fighter, Grievous watches in horror as the Malevolence crashes into the moon, being destroyed, and defeated Grievous goes back to Separatist space as the Republic celebrates a major victory against the Confederacy of independent systems. The clones in Domino Squad are sent to the Rishi moon, and there they have a pretty boring job. Although it is important, nothing much happens on the moon, which is a vital outpost to the defense of Camino, since any invading fleet would have to pass by, and if they do, this outpost is going to be signaling the Republic. But wanting to attack Camino, General Grievous, with the help of Astar's Ventress, is planning to, of course, invade, and this plan really begins with him sending forces to go and capture the outpost, and sends in many escape pods, which makes it seem like a meteor shower is striking the planet, though secretly it is an army of commando droids who have infiltrated the base and began to cut down the clone troopers, and this leads to most of the clones dying, besides a few from Domino Squad, including everyone besides Droidbait, who is taken out, and as they manage to escape, Cut Up also is killed by a giant worm that is in the planet. But at the same time, Cody and Rex are on inspection and arrive at the base. Not knowing this, the droids are trying to make things seem normal, but then, after being warned by the clones in Domino Squad who send up a droid attack flare, Rex is able to figure out that this is a commando droid, shooting it down. They want to go back to contact the Jedi, but their shuttle is destroyed, and they go to meet up with the clones of Domino Squad. Now, the 5 clones, Rex, Cody, Fives, Echo, and Heavy, prepare to go and retake the Rishi station, and are able to go and take it back initially, but losing contact, Grievous orders an attack force down, and after realizing there is no way that they'll be able to hold off the droids and disable the all clear signal, which has been hardwired by the Separatists, a plan is made to blow up the station, and before they can blow it up, the droids do reach there, and Heavy has to stay behind because there's a problem with the explosives, knowing that his sacrifice would give the Republic the warning they need. Heavy kills himself in an explosion, destroying the base, alerting Republic forces, and they show up to chase away Grievous and protect Camino. The final 2 members of the Domino Squad, Fives and Echo, are moved into the 501st, since everyone they were with has died. Republic forces are losing in battle, and there is only one less desperate chance they can have to defeat General Grievous. Anakin leads a bold strategy where he does a frontal attack but has ATTEs hidden upon asteroids, which he'll use to fire on the backside of the Separatist cruisers, destroying them. This plan is going almost perfectly, but General Grievous gets out of his ship and gets into a dogfight with Anakin. Anakin's ship does suffer damage and crashes. Anakin is knocked out and later awakes inside of a medical facility and quickly learns that R2 has been taken away in the battle and they do not know where he is. Anakin wants to find R2, but Obi-Wan is pointing out that that is not the Jedi way. But Anakin mentions that he hasn't cleared R2's memory and that he has vital Republic secrets inside of him. And Obi-Wan sends him off on a mission to find him, since it will be devastating if those plans are found. And Anakin goes to a Trandoshan ship that is salvaging parts. Him and Ahsoka look across the ship, but their new droid, R3, goes and sabotages them, releasing assassin droids to attack. And this leads to Anakin and Ahsoka having to leave the ship where R2 actually is, and the Trandoshan is actually a Separatist sympathizer and is bringing the droid to Grievous, especially since he knows that Jedi want it. Anakin is then sent out, and he is nearly killed when R3 makes many mistakes, leading to Separatist forces nearly being able to take him out. But he is rescued by Ahsoka and Rex. Learning that Grievous has a listening station, that is what Anakin is assigned to. But meanwhile, the Trandoshan brings R2 to Grievous. They learn that there is a full way out of the Republic plans, and this is on Grievous' new listening station. The Trandoshan demands more money, and Grievous simply kills him. But before they were able to do that, R2 was able to send out a distress signal to Anakin, and it helped them narrow down where the Separatist listening post was, which they were ordered to destroy. Obi-Wan just orders Anakin to completely destroy the base, but wanting to rescue his friend, Anakin goes down and tries to infiltrate the facility. He splits out into two teams, one with Ahsoka planting bombs, and the other is Anakin by himself to go and rescue R2. Ahsoka and Rex quickly learn that R3 is a traitor, and Ahsoka is forced to fight General Grievous. And this leads to a duel where she is able to escape with her life, which is pretty lucky. But Anakin is able to rescue R2. And as they attempt to escape the Doom Station, but R3 sets up armies of droids and locks the hangar doors so they cannot escape. This leads to a battle between R2 and R3, where R2 defeats R3 and is able to escape with Anakin. Obi-Wan then kind of scolds Anakin for putting the lives of so many at risk just to rescue a droid. But Anakin says that R2 is more of a droid and is a friend, making this a victory for the Republic that nearly turned out in disaster. Padme Amidala goes to the world of Rhodia to meet with her good friend Anaconda Farr and try and help him since his world is suffering. But Anaconda decides to join the Separatists since they do offer stability for his people. He betrays Padme and has her captured. But Jar Jar Binks and C-3PO are on the ship, and finding a Jedi robe that most likely belongs to Anakin. Jar Jar puts it on and makes everyone believe he is a Jedi. Padme is able to escape, but is soon recaptured with 3PO, and Jar Jar is presumed dead. But Jar Jar is able to come back with this large beast and is able to rescue Padme, and realizing that the Separatists are bad and should not be trusted, Nakandafar once again pledges loyalty to the Republic and plays this all off like it was an act and a trap set up to get Gunray. And from this, Gunray is transferred into Republic custody by Padme, and once this happens, Ahsoka and Luminar Unduli are assigned to guard Gunray. Ahsoka tries to get information out of Gunray, but Luminar pulls her back, saying that she's going a little too extreme. But at the same time, Ventress is sent to extract Gunray by any means necessary, since Gunray knows about Darth Sidious, and they don't want that information to be revealed. So, Ventress goes in and begins her attack, and this leads the Jedi to be distracted. Luminar goes to fight Ventress, but is losing, having experience, and basically being convinced by the captain of the Senate Guard. Ahsoka goes off to help Luminar, but it turns out the captain is a traitor and was working with Ventress, and after stunning Commander Gree, he brings Gunray to safety. Ahsoka is able to save Luminar's life, and this leads to Ventress retreating, but meeting up with the Senate Guard and Gunray. But the Senate Guard replaces his hand, saying how he's gonna take all of the glory for this, and Ventress simply kills him and escapes with Gunray, now assigned to track down Gunray. Kit Fisto meets up with his old Padawan, Nadar, and they come to a planet where the beacon that is left on Republic ships was leading to. But this turns out to be a trap, and is the lair of General Grievous. Dooku wants to test Grievous because of his repeated failures, and Grievous is able to kill off the clones pretty easily and leaves it just down to Fisto and Nadar. They do kill Grievous's pet, Gore, and continue on, but Nadar, filled with much more anger and being more reckless, takes on Grievous himself as he is separated from his master, and he is killed by Grievous. Fisto now takes up his apprentice's lightsaber and continues on and does manage to escape. Dooku is slightly impressed that while Grievous was able to kill one, but still disappointed that Fisto is still alive. And this ultimately winds up being kind of neutral, with either side truly winning, but both suffering losses. Anakin Skywalker has been captured by Count Dooku on a mission. At least that's what they want him to think, and Obi-Wan Kenobi has gone to rescue him. Obi-Wan releases Anakin from his cell, quickly going over their plan for Anakin to be captured so they could track down Dooku's location. Anakin and Obi-Wan now go to capture Dooku, but Dooku manages to escape from his ship, but is forced to crash land on the planet of Vancouver. Quickly, Anakin and Obi-Wan follow and pursue Dooku into a cave, but they soon realize this is a trap where there is a cave-in caused by Dooku, and they are now trapped with a Gunray Arc. As Dooku takes Anakin's lightsaber and tries to escape, he then is confronted by a group of pirates led by Hondo Ohnaka, and Hondo offers Dooku a ride to the planet of Florum, as long as he's paid well. And Dooku, seeing no other way out, agrees. Dooku goes with Hondo, but Hondo is soon able to capture Dooku by surrounding him with way too many pirates for him to take on alone. Hondo now has Dooku captured and wants to ransom him off to the Republic because he knows that the Separatists will only send in their armies. And at the same time, Anakin and Obi-Wan are able to escape from the cave, and Ahsoka is able to help do that. They were able to trap the Gunray Arc back inside, and now they are ready to go and find Dooku once again. And the Council assigns them to go and see if Dooku is actually captured by Hondo. And if he is, they will be sending over ransom money, since this is an opportunity they can't pass up. Anakin and Obi-Wan do go to Florum. They meet with Hondo and confirm that Dooku is there. But Dooku does warn them that the pirates are treacherous. Ignoring the warning, Anakin and Obi-Wan go to have a drink with the pirates, after confirming to the Jedi Council and Palpatine that Dooku is there. And this ultimately leads to Hondo having the pirates put in some kind of a knockout powder into the drinks of Anakin and Obi-Wan, where they are knocked out and soon wake up in a cell with Dooku. And the Jedi want to escape, so they aren't kind of humiliated, and well, also don't have to make the Republic pay for a ransom on them also. And the Republic forces are already on the way to land on the planet, and the people that are making up the negotiations with a large amount of spice is Senator Karras, Representative Jar Jar Binks, Clone Commander Stone, and a few other clone troopers. But at the same time, one of Hondo's men, Turk, decides to betray his boss and attack the Republic shuttle so he can be able to get the spice for himself and escape before Hondo realizes what's going on. So he sends some of the men loyal to him to shoot down the Republic shuttle, and in the crash, so both Senator Karras and the clone pilots are killed, but the clones in Jar Jar are able to hide from the pirates and steal back the spice. And this leads to Turk having to make up a backup plan, where he lies to Hondo saying the Republic sent in an army, and he goes and sends out an army of his own to meet with the Republic forces, although it is only Jar Jar, Commander Stone, and a few other clone troopers. Meanwhile, back at the base, after two failed escape attempts, Anakin and Obi-Wan are put into a cell that holds them by their arms, so they cannot try to escape again, as Dooku is kept in his own cell. But at the same time, Jar Jar, Stone, and the rest of the clones are forced to confront a small army of pirate tanks, and Using Jar Jar's natural clumsiness to their advantage, they're able to take the tanks and use it to shoot down the power cells that power the pirate base, and at the same time, both Anakin and Obi-Wan are freed and are able to get their lightsabers, with Anakin's being taken from Dooku by Hondo, and Obi-Wan having his lightsaber just taken by Hondo. And at this point, they are taking Hondo out where a tank arrives. Hondo believes that he is saved, but it is Jar Jar and Stone inside of the tank. And being the negotiator that he is, Obi-Wan says that they are still willing to deal with the pirates and trade the spice for Dooku. But on cue, they see a pirate ship escaping, which Dooku took after he killed Turk and was able to escape from the planet. And now, Obi-Wan and Anakin, with Jar Jar and Stone and the remaining clones, leave the planet, saying they have no ill will towards the pirates, but warning them that Dooku will come for revenge, and they should be ready for that. Anakin and Ahsoka go on a mission to rescue Jedi Master Aayla Secura, but in the mission, Anakin is gravely injured, and their ship is heavily damaged and is forced to jump into lightspeed, and forcing them out of lightspeed, they are able to crash land on a planet, and there they both have to treat Anakin's injuries and need to find a way to contact the Republic. So, from this, Ahsoka reluctantly goes with Aayla Secura and Commander Bly to go and find settlements and potentially help for Anakin, as Rex stays behind to watch over Anakin and make sure he is okay. After discovering a large tree that has giant acorns fall, that there is a giant path of them being dragged, they figured to go that way, but not before being attacked by a giant bird, killing a clone trooper they were with. This has the Jedi and clone go to a village that is filled with the peace-loving Lerman, and they specifically gone to this planet to get out of the war, but after convincing that they do need help and that Anakin is dying, they do agree to help them, and at the very least, help heal Anakin, and this sends Ahsoka and Bly back, but this also happens at the time that Anakin and Rex are being attacked by another giant bird creatures, and Ahsoka is back just in time to help save her master and bring him back to the village. And this leads to Ahsoka learning an important lesson of the Jedi, that she can't become overly attached to people and must learn to let go. Especially this because death is a natural part of life. Although Ahsoka is able to save Anakin, she is able to help learn this with the help of Aayla Secura. But now they are in the village, but they have the worst luck because at this time the Separatists have arrived to test their new super weapon, the Defoliator, which is a cannon that will destroy all organic life forms, but leaving any droids completely untouched. And they at first test this out in an open field, which the Jedi do witness, and both clone Captain Rex and Commander Bly nearly die when it is fired, although they weren't intentionally firing at the clones, they were just firing at the field to see how it would work. And from this, they realized that the village is in danger, and even though that the Lurmen have wanted to live in peace and not fight, the Jedi realize that it's their duty to defend them. So after raiding the Separatist base, they are able to get a shuttle and some shield generators and go to Lurmen Village to help defend them. And although the chief does not want to fight and would rather die, the Jedi still do the right thing and defend them. They set up the shield generators and make a solid defense. They then go and take on the Separatists. They are able to destroy the defoliator tank and save the Lurmen, and are also able to contact the Republic, who come to both pick them up and arrest the Separatists for their war crimes, giving another victory to the Republic. Anakin and Obi-Wan are called to a mission on the planet of Orto Plutonia, where some of the natives from the moon of Pantora requested their help after a clone base was attacked and destroyed. Although they are suspicious that it was some kind of attack by the droid army, they quickly realized it's not, and soon realized that the droid army was there, but they angered the native species, the Tals, and the Tals attacked the droids, but not knowing really that the clones were on the same side. They also attacked the clones and wiped them out. Obi-Wan decides they should go for a peaceful solution, and him, Anakin, and 3PO go to negotiate a truce, but Chairman Cho does not want peace and wants to wipe them out, thinking they're an invading force. Although the planet does belong to Tal since they are a primitive species, but Chairman Cho is determined and wants to wipe them out, although the Jedi don't want it. And no one really wants it besides really him. So the Jedi and Senator Chuchi go and contact the Pantoran government, who side with her. But at the same time, the chairman leads a clone force with Rex to try and wipe them out. Although Rex does not want to be doing this, he knows he has to follow his orders and at least protect the chairman like he was ordered to by Anakin. But this ultimately fails. Cho is killed, although Rex is able to survive. There was a truce agreed upon by the Pantorans, made with the Tals, even though Chairman Cho wants them to be wiped out as his dying request and is angered, but Senator Chuchi realizes that this was not right and they must go for a more peaceful solution. Thank you for watching this episode of Legends and Theories. Please subscribe, like the video, share the video, leave a comment, check out the video on screen, and may the Force be with you.